What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk about the top 5 EV stocks in the market as of right now. So I'm going to go over all of that, but first make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. Starting off with stock number 5, you have Polestar sitting at 57 cents. Over the last 1 year, down 48.18%. Over the last 1 month, down 35.53%. Shorts, on the other hand, they've been somewhat holding on. 10.12% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 39.1 million shares overall being shorted. So it's been range bound between that 10 to about 11% range since it looks like August. Obviously with the market being closed, there has been no updates for today, but we can kind of see right now that there is about 100 shares available to be shorted. So that's through IBKR. So potentially you could be seeing some buying going into the next couple of trading days. Cost to borrow average is 13.3. A couple of things as well to take note of up here is DTC, 7.35 days. That does signal that shorts are fairly overextended. So that factors in the average volume for Polestar in comparison to number of shares being shorted. Short score, also the higher the number, the higher the likelihood of a squeeze happening, is sitting at 79.85 out of 100. So in general, you guys can do whatever you want with this information. Some people think that these stocks might be squeeze plays, or potentially if you guys are aware of a upcoming catalyst, that might be a good kind of sign that shorts might be returning leading into that catalyst. So Polestar is stock number 5. As well, stay tuned for my video over this weekend where I will go over the top 5 EV stocks based on quantitative data. So that's a little bit more linked to fundamentals, and this changes like a lot of this list. But Polestar is stock number 5. Moving on to stock number 4, you have NIO sitting at 546. Over the last 1 year though, still doing fairly well, up 26.68. Over the last 1 month, it is pulling back, down 22.5%. 11.31% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 156.5 million shares overall being shorted. Shorts have been kind of returning, interestingly enough. So since April, way back when, short interest was about 16.7. So since then, shorts have been really returning quite a lot. Of course, that kind of gave a nice foundation for NIO to really move higher, but lately a lot of geopolitical issues, a lot of institutions have been selling, causing it to really go down. But short score 65.28, DTC is sitting at 2.19 days. So that does factor in as well that shorts are fairly overextended. One thing as well I want to bring up is shares on loan, 88.36 million. And as I mentioned, 156.57 million shares overall are being shorted. So obviously, you don't have to be a genius to figure out that math doesn't add up. So there is a lot of shares being shorted, more than what is on loan. So I don't always like to wear the tinfoil hat and say like, oh, naked shorting, blah, blah, blah. But in this case, definitely is apparent based on some of this data right here. One thing as well is that there's more than 10 million shares available to be shorted, and cost to borrow is fairly cheap. So that is 0.34%. That is an annual rate as well, not a daily rate. So NIO is number 4. Moving on to stock number 3, you have RIVN sitting at 16.18. Over the last 1 year, it is up 40.09%. And then over the last 1 month, starting to gain some good traction, up 22.58. 19.45% of the free float is being shorted. Works to be 156.7 million shares overall being shorted. This is another sign of naked shorting. So shares on loan, 152.19 million, and number of shares being shorted, 156. Again, something sketchy is definitely happening behind the scenes. DTC, 3.18 days, and then short score is 66.94. Through IBKR does indicate 5.1 million shares is available to be shorted, and as well, no different than the other cases, cost to borrow is fairly cheap. So RIVN is stock number 3. Moving on to stock number 2, you have Faraday Future sitting at $1.18. Over the last 1 year, it is down 11.94%. And then over the last 1 month, it is down 20%. So not doing that great, unfortunately, but 20.09% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 32.66 million shares overall being shorted. Short score is rather high, 77.49. DTC, as per usual, is obviously high as well. It does signal that shorts are overextended. That is sitting at 3.61 days. Shorts, interestingly enough, have returned quite a lot. So it was about 28% short interest back in November, so mid-November, the 18th, so pretty much a week ago or a week and a half ago. Since then, shorts have returned quite a lot, gave a nice little boost in the last 5 days. So going back over here, over the last 5 days, it is up 16%. So clearly a lot of that is attributed to shorts. And I do believe in Faraday's case that average kind of daily volume associated to shorts is almost about 50 to 55%. So kind of crazy stuff. Through IBKR, it does indicate about 750,000 shares is available to be shorted, and then cost to borrow is 10.71. And then moving on to stock number 1. Before I do that, happy Thanksgiving to all the Americans out there. Eat a lot, drink a lot, do what you need to do, because family and spending time with them is what is truly important. Even though making money, investing is another good priority, family is always number 1, right? But aside from that, moving on to stock number 1, I'm pretty sure you generally know what it is because it's been number 1 on this list ever since I started this almost like a year ago, and that is Lucid, sitting at 13.38 over the last 1 year, down 37.33, and then over the last 1 month, down 27.48%. So kind of crazy stuff. 29.71% of the free floats being shorted, works to be 42.8 million shares overall being shorted. Short score 79.84, DTC 4.19 days. And then you can kind of see as well, it was recently at all-time high short interest numbers of 34.08, and that was done pretty much November the 25th. So its shorts are crazy active. Through IBKR does indicate roughly around 20,000 shares is available to be shorted, and then cost to borrow is 14.77. So let me know your thoughts on the top 5 list. Like I said, RIVN, NEO, some signs of naked shorting happening behind the scenes. So definitely a lot of sketchiness. So hopefully everyone's having an amazing day. And then one final thing, pop over to my Patreon if you are looking for some solid swing trades, day trades. I put out daily updates. So worthwhile to pop over there and check that out. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.